Welcome to Code Catch Up. My name is Jamie Jones, and this is The End. Alright, so, this is the end of the podcast. That's it. Done. No more. But with every ending comes a new beginning. So, slightly clickbaity, but yes, the format and everything that you've seen, subscribed to is basically going. I want to talk about that as well as talk about what's coming next, because there are some things coming next, which is great. So I found it really hard to keep up with the cadence of releasing weekly, etc. And I haven't been able to keep a backlog, and that's just been having mainly not having as much time to work on things, at least recording the video and the audio side of things, because I've got family, I've got a young child now, and having somewhere where it's fairly quiet is quite difficult. So my recording time is quite limited, and it's become quite difficult. As well as I haven't really been enjoying doing the short topics that I've been doing. So like, this plugin, this bit of text being released, this service, which is great. Like I still do love those kind of things. Like I guess as developers, we like all the new shiny stuff or things that are going to help us with our day-to-day work. But I've just found after doing this for, I don't know how many, 160, 200, I can't remember how many podcast episodes I'm up to now. But I'm just feeling like I need something different. I've been thinking of doing something a bit different. So the podcast, as you know, it is going, but it's going to stay around. It's not going to be in its usual consistent form. So what I've decided to do is to move to a longer style format, like series or seasons, where each of these series or seasons are going to focus on a specific topic. So for example, might be a topic all on remote working. Now this season might be 8 episodes, it might be 12 episodes, it might be 1,000 episodes, I don't know. It won't really be 1,000. But the idea of this is it allows me to dive deeper into a lot of topics, which I've found that from comments and discussions with people, they've found they want more. And I've also found this for myself as well, as trying to keep the podcast condensed enough with enough information has been really difficult. I feel like I've needed more length, and it just didn't feel quite right to try and, at least for timing wise, to be able to get this all to work. Like if I want to do more of what I want to do, it'd have to be like 20 minutes, half an hour, and that's most of my recording time gone without, as long as I was actually able to get everything done in a single take, and it just doesn't happen. So for example, I think this is my second time recording this, so it becomes really difficult. So keeping up the cadence and these topics, it just hasn't been working. So these other things I've been thinking of is the long form, and I think that's going to work a lot better for me. So for example, I might do one on, we'll stick with the remote working kind of thing. I'll be able to go into all the different things, all the different areas within remote working that I like to talk about, I think about, I've talked with others about, and get that across. Then I can do that more than in a single episode, and it's putting everything together. And what this allows me to do as creating the content is, one, I can prepare it, and this is something that I haven't done before. Like all the podcast episodes that you listened to or watched have been pretty much off the cuff. Like I'll have some bullet points of things I want to touch on, but it hasn't been so much of a script, where this might be a little bit more scripted. Just so I can make sure that I'm getting the thoughts across like I want, because sometimes I come to record and I get other things come in my head. I'm like, maybe that, or anyway, those kind of things come up. And so it's going to be more scripted. I might be able to release it as some like a blog post or something. Maybe I'll see. I'm not a very good writer, so we'll see about that. But then this should also allow me more time, which I'm hoping, based on from my little playing around, I should be able to release this as both video and audio, which I've tried in the past with the podcast, but with the short form, it just didn't work. It was one of these things that was just like, no. And people had noticed, and they'd comment like they wanted more information, or they wanted to see more things. And I'm like, well, I can show more things, but it's not going to work for the audio. Whereas these longer form topics and things that I want to do, it should work for the 95-ish 95-ish% of cases. So that's kind of where that's at. So basically, it's not going to be as frequently released like previously, minus all the interruptions since just before having a child, which has been just over a year ago now. Before that, it was that weekly cadence. That's going to somewhat stop, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of a break where I'm going to be preparing all the topics, or at least the first season, for example, or series. I'm not too sure what to call it. What's your thoughts? Season? Series? I don't know. So yeah, I'll go off and I'll prepare this and pre-record everything, and then I'm going to schedule them for the week. So it might be a block of 8 weeks, 12 weeks. I don't know. It depends on the series, and I'll do that weekly, release them weekly, and go from there. But there's going to be these gaps, and that's probably going to give me a little bit of breathing space as well, because, like I'm really, really investing in my job at the moment, and it's pretty draining by the end of the day. You're kind of like, well, that was a great day, but now I don't really want to record or write, and it gives me that little bit of breathing room, as well as to be able to spend more time with my family or do little projects around the house that I've been wanting to do for ages. So it frees up time there, so it allows me to have that little bit of a break. So that's all I really got. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. I don't know when it's going to start up again. Like, I've started off some notes and things for the remote working one. I've got some others that I'm kind of mapping out. But yeah, I'm not too sure when that's going to start. So there could be a bit of a break. I do still have a few topics that I really want to publish as like the weekly podcast. I don't know if I'll get them out. We'll see. It just depends on how I'm going to feel about doing those. Like, it feels a bit weird, like saying, hey, here's the end and here's some other episodes that I want to get to, but it's been weeks since my last release, maybe a month. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about, is how things are ending, but they're not really, and some directions that I want to take. I will probably, if this doesn't work, I probably will stop Code Catch Up entirely, because one of the things is I really want to make sure that I'm enjoying this and getting something out of it. I guess it's a little bit selfish. It's not just for everyone else. It's also for me, because I like doing this. But if I'm not getting something out of it, then yeah, I do have some ideas for some other things that I want to do. So maybe it will transfer to that if this doesn't work. I don't know. We'll see. But that's all I really got for this one. I'd love to know your thoughts. Thank you for everyone who's still been listening and subscribing. It's been great. I'm still seeing numbers increase and things like that, which I'm like, I don't know how that's really working, but it is. So thank you. So there might be a little bit of a break. Hopefully I can get this first season or series out soon. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, follow on Twitter, leave comments, all that kind of stuff, so you can be notified when anything's happening. But other than that, we'll catch you the next one. Bye.